Uh, you might sound like an asshole, and you might be an asshole, but if you want to keep up, you gotta do that crap.
Because you never know when new people are actually watching your content. That's the trick. I joked about it with a friend, but no, literally the life of a YouTuber is just to continuously be shilling your stuff. That's a rainbow colored one. That looks delicious. Wonderful sherbet. Sherbet died.
Yeah.
Oh, hello,
that
Snake.
Was necromancy. We'll get to him in another one. He's another... I don't like his stage very much, but I do like the character a whole lot.
Yeah.
Love watching these.
Straight up fucking Beyblade with that one, man. Oh, they sure he was winning this one.
It's the little things in life.
Rest in peace, ocean protection.
You've got to prioritize, gentlemen.
The combat here is Richard Epcar, isn't it?
Yes.
Okay. I only just heard his... I was hearing his voice at a glance with the last video. I'm like, oh, yeah, that's Richard. Holy crap. I can recognize him at a glance now.
Yeah, he's very iconic.
You know, we've been at this recording for an hour now, and I mentioned it when we cut last time, and somehow we have not even started talking about it yet. So, Funimation does not have the same voice actors that this game does, because this game was dubbed in California, but the actual anime itself was dubbed in Texas. So, grand majority of people did not carry over.
Hold that thought for 1 second. This is another one of those direct cases where if you choose not to follow up on a situation, it will actually spiral out of control. You can actually alter what ends up being the semifinal stage for this blue route, but I chose not to because, again, I think the one that appears by ignoring your problems rather than facing them head-on is more interesting. We'll come back to Kanbei. Kanbei is not over yet just because we ignored him.
Yeah.
But that's not entirely true. A lot of the cast is shared between the game and the anime. It's just a lot of them who exclusively do video games or are union exclusively didn't carry over, but the grand majority of the cast did, and that's important to note for cases like the Judge End, which again is a full-length adaptation of this game that has a lot of the characters that the movie cut out because they weren't important to the core story. Saika appears in that anime. It's still Karen Strassman. I can't just say the name Karen anymore. You just can't.
I know.
Kanbei is in there, and it's still Richard Epcar.
Oh, cool.
The Shrine Maiden, who I don't know the name of her actress or what else she does, is still there, which is funny because I didn't think she's done much work in the intervening years. Ooh. But where they can, they try to get most of the returning cast, and that's why the anime will be credited as having two different directors. That'll be the director that handled the California side and the director that handled the Funimation side. And of course, most importantly of all, they were able to keep Johnny on both ends. And as far as Masamune is concerned, that's a contentious one. He's had 3 different actors. And again, it's probably entirely based on the material he has to work with, as we'll see later. But I think Ruben is actually the weakest of the 3. And recent revelations about him as a person play no role in that opinion. That's something I've been thinking for probably about 6 years.
It's true. He has been thinking about that for a while.
His Funimation actor is Rob McCullum, who plays, I think in the original anime he played Baki, and
nice.
plays Doflamingo.
I love how I actually do know that because I have watched the original Baki anime before. Not all the way through, I only got halfway through, but yeah, I know about that one.
And the Devil King's voice actor, which we haven't mentioned this at all, but Devil King's was dubbed in Canada by Ocean because even up until like 2012, Capcom loved always tapping Ocean for most of their projects. Street Fighter Cross Tekken was dubbed by Ocean.
Yep. Brad Swale as Jin Kazama is so weird.
Yeah. So in the Ocean dub of Devil Kings, Masamune was played by Kirby Morrow, rest in peace. Ooh. And in that game, the character is just pure party animal. And he plays the party animal perfectly.
Damn. Huh.
I'm pretty sure I've shown you the comparison clips before. They each have their different strengths, but for nailing what the core of Masamune's character is, I think my favorite actually would end up being Kirby Morrow.
Interesting. I will definitely say that listening to Dante between 3, 4, and 5, I definitely feel like Ruben Langdon hasn't been able to actually put in a really great performance as Dante until 5 happened. So, also because of the diminutive. Like, 3, I'm going to definitely say did not have the best directing in the world, as well as not the best audio equipment either. 4, Dante was sort of almost a non-character. He was like, hey, yeah, your crazy uncle's here, kids. But didn't really have much beyond that. That was all Johnny/Nero show from the beginning to end. It's really 5 where Dante or Ruben gets to actually do stuff in terms of voice acting, so that's really cool for him.
When he finally comes into his own.
Yeah, definitely. Stuff about Ruben himself notwithstanding.
I mean, I guess there's the original, and I can't believe I have to qualify that with original now, Devil May Cry anime, where Ruben plays Dante.
I didn't even know that was Ruben that did hang characters. That's kind of cool. And I say it's kind of cool because that is also, I'm pretty sure, Funimation, if I'm not mistaken.
I think it was actually ADV.
Huh, interesting.
Yeah, it was ADV because the only returning actor was Ruben. Lady in the anime, or not Lady, Trish in the anime was played by Lucy Christian.
Oof. That's a good oof, by the way.
But he was for the anime, because that was non-union, he went under a pseudonym, which might get a chuckle out of you if you do or don't know. If you know, you know. He went under the name Justin Cause.
That's funny, but I don't remember the full context right offhand.
He does a lot. He did or does, I don't remember, a lot of charity work for the charity organization Just Cause.
Oh, okay.
Just Cause is also actually in the credits of this game as well.
Yeah.
I've had quite enough, Ujimasa, you coward. But I have nothing to do with it.
So this is a funny that made a mallet sound when he
yeah, it sounded like it fucking hurt.
His armor.
So I'm actually kind of surprised that Ruben is Union. Like, he doesn't really do a lot of things to warrant it. Also red.
Yeah, I was gonna say, sorry, I was just taking that in because hearing Ujimasa Hojo's ramblings is really funny, but also seeing Mitsunari literally start glowing red.
Yep.
He's going Kaioken.
He's going Trans Am, run.
Which also Ujimasa Hojo, played by Frederick William Knight, also known as Donzo.
Yup. And also, I'm pretty sure the old man professor from Ghost in the Shell too. Funny enough.
Yes. One of the old guys, yeah.
Yeah, dude's got some legacy behind him. So don't tell anyone about this, because I'm pretty sure I don't know how many people will actually be looking into this, but I'm pretty sure one of my upcoming projects might actually be towards Ghost in the Shell. So that's just funny to make that connection.
a couple of years back, when I first told you about Frederick Knight in the first place and about this, you actually asked me to record his clips from the gallery so you could actually do a funny by playing them over Donzo.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, this is some
right.
bullshit. I still have that if you want that. This is some bullshit. He he knocked me into a gate, which actually nullified the special condition.
Ooh.
You might have noticed this whole stage that we were doing some strange platforming. We were on the roof.
Yeah, I love this
actually
stage.
Doing something. This is a stage that I love and hate. When it's great, it's fantastic. It's some nice atmosphere. You're performing a stealthy sneak attack on him by running and jumping over the rooftops, and you can get knocked over them and fall back onto the ground, and the stage is less fun. He just knocked me into the front door of this area, and that means that it knocked me into the path of a cutscene, which I already triggered, so it wouldn't have gone off, but basically acts like I didn't get the sneak attack off at all, because he knocked me into a door after the boss battle started.
That's kind of fucked. Yeah.
I don't care that much. I find it funny in this instance.
Yeah, no, it's like I don't think it affects. I think it only affects like your score, right?
Yeah, thereabouts. This is a straight DBZ battle.
I've never seen this Satake character before, and he won.
He's one of the regional lords. His thing is that he runs the Clumsy Men's School of Etiquette.
Dude, he just straight up beat the God of War. Holy shit.
If a character isn't relevant to your story, there's always a chance, even if they were a proper named and important character, they always have a chance of losing, even to the one-offs.
Yeah, we will never win with the beasts at our back. Mitsunari, you must address this problem. Yeah, I wonder what you're about to do.
The tactics of Shimazu the Beast do not concern me.
Shimazu is about to rip his army apart.
Is that he and Solo Hideyoshi
I can see this coming from a mile away.
consequences?
This gets funnier the further you go, though. Every single thing he chooses to ignore, increasingly more threatening problems.
It's like a Rube Goldberg machine of just like things getting progressively worse and worse.
At what point are you just hanging off the edge of a cliff, perched only by a twig?
The Yoshishige forces will advance slowly. All right.
This stage, if you keep your eyes open, actually houses the ugliest character models in the entire game, and that's saying a lot.
Yeah, I was gonna say this earlier, but I didn't immediately mention anything about it. Some of the NPCs in this game, like, straight up have faces like you would see from Final Fantasy X. Like, the unanimated ones. Yeah.
Like these.
Oh, Lord. They look like they just walked in from it. It gets worse. Oh, like, holy shit.
That's practically just an upscaled PS1 texture.
They look like unused textures in Final Fantasy 12.
But we already have a character with painted on abs. This is also one of the shortest stages in the game, too. It only has 3 bases you need to worry about, and shortcuts to get through all of them.
Our boss can't lose.
Is this the one where like you take over one base and you just head right for the end?
What do you call this?
Well, there's one stage in this game, actually, where you can just ignore all the bases entirely and just run straight to the boss. I actually did that last time.
Yep.
But you get to one of these bases further up the hill, and after you clear it, a zip line appears, and then you can just take that zip line straight to the other one. But this is this is the easiest stage in the game. It's many characters' first stage. They're ease you into the game stage.
Well, it definitely shows. Well, I guess this kind of does definitely reflect in like level design, because like you have one starting area, you can literally choose what path you want to go on, and zip line between the two, and then you just go for the boss. So I guess that adds up. Oh my god, more of them. Their faces are painted on. Like, it's really what it is.
Yeah. You can tell this game has its roots in... To be honest, I wouldn't be surprised if this game actually did just have a straight up reused, unused assets from Onimusha.
I don't know, maybe. I guess on
Samurai
that note,
game PS2.
I guess to talk about the actual engine a little bit, though, the NT Framework Light engine. First of all, old engine that was used by Capcom for many things. Pretty sure it was also used for... I think it was actually used for Ultimate Marvel, now I think about it. I want to say it was.
It was used for Resident Evil 5 and maybe 6, and also for Street Fighter 4.
I'm not sure about 6. I feel like it would look a little better in that regard, but I don't think 6. I'll hold that, though.
Well, Basara 4, which came out on the PS3 in 2014, was on the standard MT Framework engine, not just Lite, because it was just a PS4 game. So if they were still using that in 2014, it stands to reason they probably still would have been using it for their other games in 2012. That's just a guess. That's conjecture, though. I could still be wrong on that.
Yeah, so the MT Framework engine is one used by Capcom back in the day. I was about to say Sengoku Basara, but that would not be totally inaccurate. So basically, it's an engine they use for a lot of different games, and it's really good at handling a lot of processing power and holding 60. Like, this engine is the same engine that we mentioned earlier with the whole legendary Dark Knight difficulty in Devil May Cry 4, where literally for PC.
That too.
2?
That too. I forgot about Devil May Cry.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, Devil May Cry 4.
Yeah, 4 utilizes it so fucking... I'm still sometimes surprised 4 was a 7th generation console game. Like, it's so damn pretty lit at some points.
This idiot just walked face first into the camera and bonked his head on it.
Bonk.
Yeah, Devil May Cry 4 never ceases to amaze.
Just the choreography and how the shot compositions of a lot of the cutscenes are just so fucking amazing. Especially just the opening cutscene with Nero fighting Dante.
Yeah.
And that literally being the tutorial level. Even better.
It was pretty impressive for the time.
Oh god, yeah. It's still pretty fucking impressive.
I just like that Nero can just pick up the pews and throw them at him.
Yeah. Unfortunately, they ended up dropping the engine. I'm not exactly sure for what reason. I think it's an in-house decision. It's fucking baffling why they would, but alright.
They dropped it when they moved on after they created the RE engine.
Yeah.
Because Marvel Infinite might... No. Marvel Infinite would not have still been using it because by the time that game came out...
Unreal 4...
Probably, because Resident Evil 7 would have already been out by then. And Devil May Cry 5 is on the RE engine.
Unreal Engine 4, I thought so.
Makes sense.
As always.
Yeah, if is the question nowadays. If they ever make another Basara engine, I pray to hell and gone that they never put it on the RE engine, because honestly, that would be mortifying.
I initially thought that the RE engine was not a great pick for... when the first trailer dropped for Devil May Cry 5, I thought it was legitimately Scalebound. Because Nero just looked exactly like the main character for Scalebound. I'm like, oh, Scalebound content, I guess. Wait, is that Johnny? Oh shit, this is actually happening. Even though I wasn't surprised in the slightest, because Dan Southwick kind of leaked the game like 2 years prior.
3 years prior.
And even then, it wasn't that surprising because the special edition for 4 did pretty fucking well, so whatever.
My favorite part about that incident was he was saying, yeah, this is a series that I've loved to work on long term, and I'm so glad that they brought us back for... Hey, Johnny, are we allowed to talk about that?
No. And they just give him a look. Nah, it's the other series that features all of Dan Southworth, Ruben Langdon, and Johnny Young Bosch. Nah, it's the other one.
That was like 2015 that happened, and the game didn't get revealed proper until E3 of 2018.
Yeah. So I guess back to my point. At first I thought it didn't look amazing. Because Devil May Cry is, of course, like a more anime style kind of vibe. Like, going to photorealism doesn't really work too well for it, but the more I've been looking at it, the more like, okay, yeah, it does kind of work pretty well here. And some, like, weird textures on Dante every once in a while. It's pretty good. This series, though, unless they want it to look live action, I don't think they should do it, even though Capcom seems pretty intent on using the RE engine for a lot of shit. Why are they remaking Resident Evil 4? They don't need to remake Resident Evil 4. 4 is already a perfect game by itself. Ugh.
They're gonna go through the process of slowly remaking every game up to and including 6. That was an inevitability after they announced 3, I think.
If they remade 6, I actually would not object to that because they could really touch that game and actually make it good.
At the same time, they can't skip any numbered entries either.
Yeah, okay, to be fair, Las Plagas and the RE engine is going to look absolutely fucking mortifying. But also, it's still a good game. It's like available on literally every console. Ugh.
Yep.
Yeah.
So this is the consequence of... This is the consequence of
Thanks,
ignoring... of ignoring all, or at least your biggest problem. And the biggest problem in this case was Kanbei. So while we were out acting like a fucking idiot, Kanbei came by and just stole our house out from under us.
Yeah.
So it's a funny incidence then that the first we're seeing of Osaka Castle, traditionally Mitsunari's stage, is actually under someone else's control and played by Mitsunari.
Yup. I mean, I'm certain Mitsunari can retake a castle from Kanbei, but I mean, he's gonna lose it again in like 5 minutes, probably.
But also just keep getting to hear... Kanbei is a right bastard in the worst ways in this game, so he's a character you're supposed to hate, but just getting to hear... Richard Epcar for 20 minutes just go na 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 is really fucking hysterical.
Especially from Richard. For anyone who's not aware, Richard Epcar is like just one of the fucking funniest dudes on the face of the earth. So that being the case, I don't even mind.
The man is certifiably insane from what I've seen and heard stories about him.
I mean, when you've been working on anime since the 80s, I imagine you would probably go insane at some point.
That's right, he goes all the way back to Robotech.
Yeah, he's Robotech League.
Make note of that area behind us. We'll be heading back there. We don't normally. This stage can be annoying though because, well, look at these fucking morons.
I'm getting the vibe there's going to be a lot of either backtracking or a lot of dealing with enemies that you wouldn't have to normally do so.
On the contrary, actually, this stage, if you know where to look, can actually be very, very short. But it's just annoying because these guys are fucking idiots that hit each other. Also, they throw dynamite, and the dynamite is really annoying.
We're shooting ourselves! God, this game is just rich with one-liners. We actually get down to it.
I know, the writing in this game is superb.
Oh god, yeah. Pretty sure we can pinpoint when Patrick is the one writing for this game, not gonna lie. I love how you completely lose all momentum as soon as you let go of the control stick. While jumping. Hello.
Yeah. This thing shows up way more times in this game than it has any right to.
It is design is flawless. Oh, come on, guys. Proofread.
What do you think is gonna happen when you put a mining tool inside a building where there's nothing to mine for?
Dig deeper. I don't know. Well, this definitely reads me like this is an obvious trap, but maybe you could have gone with a more effective trap than this, where where Mitsunari has a fair chance.
Maybe something that's not so slow.
Yeah.
And telegraphed.
Also, lol, doing damage to it by attacking its drills.
They give him credit, they at least had some amount of forethought required to hide its weak point.
Yeah, true.
Or try to cover it up, yeah. Every one of these mechanical bosses has a weak point. Typically, it's a rudder on the back. There's one here. There's one on the robot spider ship that belongs to Motochika, and on the muffler of the Zabi wagon.
Oh, I've been meaning to ask, is the reason you bring, don't know her name, is the reason you bring that assist along is that she occasionally gives you health items?
Her name is Matsu, she's Toshie's wife, and yes, periodically she throws minor healing items at you, and she also does it when you activate your Basara, and frankly I just think that's easier and more efficient for the longer stages, especially when you have to fight multiple bosses, because if you accidentally hit a health box without meaning to, and your health is full or close to it and you don't need it, the health items do disappear after a time.
Ouch. Huh.
So it's so she's the best way to make sure you're never caught unawares.
That would be a good idea, yeah.
So I end up using her throughout the entire game.
Probably good call.
Because otherwise the other ally like that.
I'm actually having trouble finding the words to describe.
Thank you. Because the other characters don't really do anything useful. They just occasionally, very occasionally, attack other enemies, but that doesn't really accomplish much of anything. True to AI in most Muso-style games. So if I'm going to have an ally with me at all times, I may as well have one that actually is beneficial to me.
Like on a universal basis, yeah, I can understand that. Huh. Cool detail. It's still there.
That's a line. The only other one that I can think of that has a similar function is Nambu Haramasa, I think. Yeah, is his name. He is the Necromancer, and his skill is that he'll revive you to full health one time per stage if you die, which is cool, but I think just getting general healing is the more useful ability.
Yeah, fucking
more practical.
Ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure and shit like that, yeah. Ooh, we actually do get interaction between these two. Cool.
It's like it's one of the only like 2 cutscenes in this story mode. Also, some cutscenes are on one end and only one end scripted, so as not technically in engine. Because if it was completely done to your settings, then his weapon...
he would have that ultimate weapon.
Yeah, he would have the ones with the open-bladed cuffs, as opposed to the stock and chain.
Yeah. Oh, hello.
I just like making Mitsunari mad.
Your blood pressure, Chief. Your wife told you to watch the anger. You told my wife. Thank you. Such a pretty mouth on you. Okay.
Yeah, the dialogue here is, I broke your stuff while I was here. Yeah, the dialogue in this game is fantastic.
Yeah.
This is a character that sucks to play as, and to read his dialogue, this character is made entirely off the back of Richard. I don't think I would be able to stand this character in Japanese.
I think you're right. Richard does have that effect with a lot of various characters, yeah.
Because this stage is an outlier. Every other time you see Kanbei, he's whining and crying to anyone that'll listen about how life sucks and how he used to be so great, but then he got these chains put on him, and his life has been terrible ever since. Look, he does nothing but whine and blame everyone else for his problems.
Ouch. So by the way, one thing that is actually pretty useful that we haven't actually mentioned yet is that whenever an enemy boss does rip their own Basara, you can actually mash the fuck out of the guard button, and you can actually parry their own and immediately cancel it out.
Yes, I've done that a handful of times. It's very risk-reward, because if your timing's not great, because a lot of their attacks do have varied timing, you can end up eating like 75% of every hit in their Basara attack.
I cannot wait to confront him.
Seems like it, yeah.
His throat collapsing within my hand.
But if you have the parry timing of a Street Fighter 3, then you're basically golden. And sometimes you can actually get the parry off on literally the first hit, so it looks a lot even funnier that way.